All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. I'll say this about Trump. If you're a female, you're one of the most beautiful females in Washington, D.C. He hires no bow wows. The Trump administration, it's smoke show after smoke show.
Press out, press, we're going. Thank you, press. Cameras, we're done. Cameras.
Look at these guys. They're telling them to get out of there. And then these guys are still taking pictures as they're walking out. Oh, God.
Really an honor.
What a disaster that was. I guess he's okay. I guess he's just having a bad day or whatever. I don't know. Why is the guy's legs up? Let me check that out again. Let's see here.
Gordon, you okay?
I think I know the answer to this.
Press. Thank you, press.
Okay. So they're lifting his legs up. In first aid, if a person passes out for whatever reason, it's easier for oxygenated blood to get from the lower extremities. You want to keep oxygenated blood to the brain. So if you make it so that the blood wants to stay at the brain, you put the legs up. I actually know that. I feel good about that. That's why they put the legs up. Donut Dan says the same thing. He's a first responder. And Stevie knew that. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, is there a doctor in the room? Dr. Oz, allegedly. John says legs up to promote blood flow. I think everyone knew that except Megan here. And now she's like, oh, I had no idea. People who lock their knees when standing for a long time in one place can pass out. Happens in the military all the time. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that happen. I remember when one of the popes died. There was some dude standing out in front of the Pope's casket. And next thing you know, he's gone. Tophus says they were all getting ready to rail the guy who passed out. That's why his legs are up. Yeah, I don't think they were getting ready to rail him or to have sex with him. Megan suggests that it looked like they were going to bicycle his legs like we do to make a baby fart. John is suggesting run the train. Boy, the chat, I don't have to work very hard for jokes. I've got bicycle his legs like making a baby fart and run the train. And they were going to rail him. That's why he passed out. Or that's why his legs were up. They were going to rail the passed out guy. Horrible. I guess that guy's okay. I could take the time to look, but I would have heard if he died. Ladies and gentlemen, wouldn't you want to buy the fraud bus? Can I interest you in a fraud bus? You can just fill out this form here, and they'll call you. It's a great-looking vehicle. See this pipe at the bottom here? It's got 3 brackets that holds it onto the frame of the vehicle, the body of the vehicle. Second trip I took it to Maine. And by the time I was halfway there, 2 of the 3 had broken off. It was just like dangling. How the fuck is that even possible? Looks good. Let's go inside and check out the inside of the fraud bus. Come on in. Look at that. It's beautiful. Think about how much fun you could have with your family when you're on the side of the road in total comfort. These lights here, these 4 lights, this air conditioner wasn't bolted on. They had it in there, and there was screws and nuts and bolts, but they didn't tighten them. So there was no seal. So when rain fell, water would go in that opening. And now it was in the ceiling, the rain. This is also in Maine. And all the rain shorted out these lights. So they had to go in, do a water eradication in the ceiling, replace all the lights, all because some cocksucker did not bolt down the fucking air conditioner. Beautiful full-size fridge. Oh, my God. You know how much room you have in there? I'm getting pissed off just looking at this. Is crazy. This thing up here, you push a button and it comes down and it's a fucking bed. Cannot believe how much of a pile of shit this thing is. Over here on the left, that's you push a button here and these jack stands come out. And they level it. I used it once and it broke. They had to replace the whole thing. It's that right there, electronic leveling. I've never even turned it on since then because even though it's fixed, I'm afraid it'll break again. There's the bed. All right, enough of this. I'm getting pissed off. Anyway. I'll get you a good deal on it. Tophus says built by Boeing. Fraud bust by Yugo. Bread Bull Brain Chris says sold by LaFontaine RV. I like how I get it out of storage this spring, take it on one trip, and then I haven't used it at all, and then go and get it and re-winterize it. Son of a bitch. Taking such a bath on it. Thank God for podcasting. All right. Got a number of things I want to share with you, including this clip from... It looks like some junior hockey team in, I don't know, somewhere in Canada. The Niagara Ice Dogs of the Ontario Hockey League. And the mascot is skating out. And watch what happens to him. Two angles of this. I think the Niagara Ice Dogs, the mascot must be some type of dog. That makes sense. Here's the other angle. They have 2 angles of... Oh, no! I like how his jersey is 911. That is his 911. I actually witnessed something just like that happen back in the day. When the Grand Rapids, it wasn't back in the day. It was 2 years ago. Alan notices Dire Straits screaming in the background. Griff came out with the hot dog cannon in the second intermission and did the same thing, smash right into the net. And there's video of it somewhere. And you can hear me going, all right, fire, Griff, fire. And then he hits it, and on the mic, I go, oh, no. My God. Bread Bull Brain Chris says that Kelly had a question about the waterfall between Lakes Ontario and Erie this morning. So is she thinking that there's a waterfall going from Lake like Niagara Falls. She thinks that Niagara Falls goes from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario. Is that what you're telling me based on what we're talking about here right now? Oh boy. God bless her. Okay. Anyway, where I live here in Redneckville, as you know, we've talked about this many times. We are not far from any of the area hard living lines. And in Montcalm County, which is, well, it says, yeah, Montcalm County is not far from here. I think it's just north of like Kent County. And the chick who's the treasurer of the local county thing, like the board, it seems that her husband is a very popular YouTuber or has a huge social media presence. And he's getting a lot of interest because the Southern Poverty Law Center has identified her husband. I want to get this right. An article details the online presence of Jonathan Christopher Booth, a self-described national socialist whose YouTube channel, before being taken down for violating community standards, had millions of views. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, National Socialism is a hate group and is linked to Nazism. So this chick is like on the local board, and up there, that's all shit kicker country. And so while she's doing that, the husband is doing that. And now the local TV news has heard about this, and the story is out. So I want to check this out and see what the heck is going on.
Living in a Montcalm County community want to recall their treasurer after just 1 year. They say they're concerned with the social media posts the treasurer's husband made. 13 on your side's Callie Lichter spoke to one of the concerned residents on why she believes the husband's words mean the treasurer should not be serving in public office.
Residents say this isn't political. It comes down to community trust. The husband of a Montcalm County township.
I love that her last name is Lichter, because there's so much you can do with that.
Treasurer recently gained international attention for videos on social media supporting National Socialist viewpoints. Now, community members want the treasurer to step down.
People are looking at our town and going, oh, cool, yeah, your treasurer is married to a neo-Nazi, and that represents all of us.
Trisha Wells is a former Maple Valley Township Planning Commission member, the same township where Meg Booth was elected treasurer. Wells and others in the community became concerned after an article in a British newspaper profiled Booth's husband, Chris, as a leader in far-right social media, describing himself as a national socialist.
Technically, he does have free speech and he is allowed to say whatever he wants on his videos. Unfortunately, that article did link him to our town treasurer.
The article links Chris Booth not only to Maple Valley Township, but also
so she needs to say, well, look, I'm not a neo-Nazi. What the fuck? No.
As treasurer.
She needs to put her foot down on this.
Treasurer Meg Booth's husband. In response to emails to Meg Booth requesting an interview.
Am I married to a neo-Nazi? Well, that's a great question. No one's going to find out. All you need to know is that I'm the treasurer and I am not a neo-Nazi. So that's where it ends, right?
About the allegations that her husband is a
I don't know about that.
Nazi and the possible recall effort against her. She said, I will not be providing a comment or participating in interviews regarding this story. Please consider this my final communication on the matter.
Oh,
Chris
boy.
Booth has not responded to our request for comment email. Chris Booth's YouTube videos and other social media content are no longer on YouTube, but were downloaded by Wells and another community member. 13 on Your Side was able to find copies of the same videos on a new social media platform that is linked directly from his other social media accounts. The videos Wells says she downloaded from Chris
He looks serious as hell and everything.
Booth's account show mostly front-facing videos of Chris Booth talking about various subjects, with titles such as No One Really Believes in Transgenderism, Black Crimes Matter, Never Relax, and A Few Reasons I Don't Like Jews. It's
Yeah, now that's, okay, that one's probably the smoking gun. Okay? All of those sound horrible.
About various subjects, with titles such as No One Really Believes in Transgenderism, Black Crimes
Okay, now, that first one. No, I don't believe that. I think a lot of people believe in transgenderism. But in today's climate, you can get away with saying that.
Black crimes matter.
I don't know what it says black crimes matter. So I think that's one where there's got to be like some insults or horrible talk about black people in that one, I'm guessing. But I haven't heard it. But this one.
Never relax. And a few reasons I don't like Jews.
Yeah, you can't really outrun a few reasons I don't like Jews. That's a tough one. I mean, how do you explain or get somebody to rally behind you when that's what the title of your show is? Can you imagine if I started a show and instead of something like EZ stirs the pot or EZ great food giveaway talk, that was the title of the show? I mean, you'd probably get a lot of attention right away. I think that's the key to being a big-time social media star. You got to be willing to extend yourself, and I'm not doing that. I mean, I can't say that. I would never dream of that.
It's not complicated.
Even if Ben Glaze does believe all those things.
Wells asked for the township board to have trainings to restore faith in the community.
I asked them to attend ethics trainings. I asked for good faith action from Meg. I asked her to hold her own meeting.
I think I like her.
I was all just
I think whoever this chick is, I have a crush on her.
No.
She's way too young, though.
Concerns were brought.
Okay, this is the board. This is the local board. If this is what your board looks like, yeah, you're in a hilljack community. You got chick who's married to that guy. You got Boss Hog over here and Cooter over here and this lady who's got arms bigger than the Undertaker.
Up at several recorded township meetings, and Wells hosted her own community meeting with Meg Booth. She says at that meeting, Booth did little to disavow her husband.
We can't recall someone because they're married to, a neo-Nazi, but we can recall someone.
Okay, so this lady's actually calling the husband that. I have been very careful not to call him that. She could get sued here.
Because
the organization that he's supposedly with has ties to that organization, but I don't think technically you can call that guy that term. So I think that this chick's in trouble, and more importantly, I think 13 on your side could be in trouble for airing this about that guy. Not that I care. I'm just saying I think they can get in trouble for it.
Community doesn't trust them anymore.
That silence, Wells says, is why Booth...
Okay, Boss Hog in a different video. He's got a cowboy hat for every different day.
...needs to be recalled.
She could have clearly just said, I am not a Nazi. I do not support any of those views. The Holocaust was horrible, whatever. I mean, pick, And
so
I don't
she's
know
upset that the wife hasn't, said anything.
From the township says in part, while we acknowledge that free speech, however distasteful it may sometimes be, is a fundamental constitutional right that must be protected, we firmly uphold the principle that all individuals deserve equal respect.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's say, for any of you, think about your significant other. You didn't even have to have one, just if you had one. If you have a significant other that has these views, that's a deal breaker, right? Like if Diana came home and she's wearing sexy Nazi gear, I gotta say something. I gotta make a big announcement that I am opposed to Diana dressing up as sexy Nazi. There's no place in the world for sexy Nazi gear. If Diana came home and she had like a SS tattoo. Hey, where you been? I was at the tattoo. I got a SS tattoo. Yeah, I'd probably, I'd have to reassess the rest of my years. I don't know if I can be, I'm trying to have a good time on this show and just laugh a little each day. And how am I going to laugh a little each day if Pooh Bear would have that type of tattoo or is walking around like sexy Nazi. Red Bull Brain Chris says a name, but I don't know it. Elise Coke costume to hand out candies. Becca Shea says, I wouldn't have got with them in the first place. Well, I know, but let's say you find out later. So, Becca, if you come home and Kevin is dressed like sexy Nazi, are you going to be like, look, I think before we go any further in the relationship, we need to discuss things here, because I can't be, hanging out with someone who likes to get dressed up as sexy Nazi. Hey, it's Eric Zane for an amazing gift site, uncommongoods.com. Handmade artisan creations for you to buy for someone as an amazing gift. I found a storybook DIY kit. I know you've seen these on bookshelves at bookstores, where it says you can, quote, open a magical portal on your bookshelf when you build one of these wonderfully detailed 3D scenarios. Went book shopping with Pooh Bear. That's her thing. And she saw one of these. She goes, oh, I would love one of these. Well, it just so happens since I've partnered with Uncommon Goods, they feature these for sale. Plus, thousands of other amazing products that you can check out for that special gift for someone. The holidays are fast approaching. You can do your shopping right from your laptop or desktop or your mobile device. UncommonGoods.com. Uncommon Goods curates products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made right here in the good old US of A. Many are crafted by independent artists and small businesses because they're made in small batches. The best finds can sell out fast. So go there and look around. UncommonGoods.com. You won't believe some of the things that are available to help your shopping experience to make someone very, very happy. UncommonGoods.com has something for everyone, from moms and dads to kids and teens, from book lovers, history buffs, diehard football fans to foodies. You'll find thousands of new gift ideas that you won't find anywhere else. And it's time to save some cash. That's right. Shop early, have fun, just in time for the holidays. Get 15% off your next gift when you go to uncommongoods.com/Zane. That's uncommongoods.com/Zane right now for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. uncommongoods.com/Zane. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. My point is, I think it says a lot about this chick if this is true about the guy. I mean, if he does a video, several reasons why I don't like Jews, that's pretty bad. I mean, Pooh Bear never busts my balls about what I say on here or do. But if I ever did do anything bad, she would definitely say something. Okay? So if I did a video with reasons why I don't like Jews, I would no doubt get my ass kicked. Bread Bull Brain Chris says Elise Koch was the witch of Buchenwald, which I think was a concentration camp, supposedly inspired Ed Gein into making things out of human skin. Wow. Megan says we would be with her, and so would our sponsorship. Yeah, I would never dream of saying something so out of bounds just for the world to consume. But I don't know if anything is going to happen in beautiful Montcalm County. Again, this is a hard living line area. And I don't know, maybe they would get sued for that if they demanded a resignation.
Respect and dignity. Comments or actions by third parties do not reflect the position of Maple Valley Township or its Board of Trustees. Wells says they will be submitting their petition for a recall vote later this month, which she believes will restore public trust in the township. Wells says they will not stop until their voices are heard. In Maple Valley Township, I'm Callie Lichter, 13 on your side.
Well, I think your voices are heard, but I kind of agree with the township. There's really nothing you can do. You just have to let it run its course. Megan says, yeah, we'd take our sponsorship, but I don't think that guy had sponsors. I doubt it. I doubt. I mean, can you imagine being a sponsor of that guy when he does the episode, here's a few reasons why I don't like Jews? Good God. Donut Dan has just fired the snark cannon, and he writes, you can only talk crap about Jewish people if you are at an Ivy League school, I thought. Dan, that's good work right there. That's a funny joke. Tophus says there isn't public trust in that township even before they found out about. No, there definitely is. You got to understand, that is a hard living line community. The Hilljacks that live there, they're all on the same page. If you are not a hillbilly and you live there, you are the minority. Piano Fingerbanger says, this is like when the owner of Pronto Pups talked about painting White Lives Matter on the street. Yeah, I remember that one. That was a big deal. Well, anyway, I'm sure that'll probably be the end of it. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I salute my sponsors that help make the world go round. Particularly my friends over at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. They're a great team. Right when you walk in the door, you will notice that this is a different type of place when it comes to car repair. Not all car repair places are created equal. Dead giveaway is when you walk into the place and there's no one at the front desk because they're depending on low-level ass crack showing grease monkey when the ringer goes off, when the door opens, to stop what he's doing and go talk to you. He smells like Funyuns and B.O. He looks like shit. He's half drunk. And you're like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? Skip all that. Go into the brightly lit lobby with the best coffee maker in the business and a giant flat screen TV and talk with 2 or 3 of the amazing front office staff that make the world go round at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. That's where you start. Don't just take my word for it. Look at their Google reviews. ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Stevie says, if you're nice, Megan will give you the remote to the TV. And you better be nice. Again, don't give her guff. We could put that on a t-shirt. No guff zone. Thank you so much to Irvine's. I also want to shout out Impact Power Sports. They sponsor the studio here. They have for quite some time. You know, they are the authority on Yamaha golf carts. If you are looking for a Yamaha golf cart, this is the one place to go. They are a certified Yamaha dealership. You can also pick up ATVs, UTVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, e-bikes, go-karts, snowmobiles, lawnmowers. They have a full service department. If anything goes wrong, you can take care of it, maybe on your existing gear or something that you want maybe modified or improved. They do it all at Impact Power Sports. Excuse me. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Thank you so much to Impact Power Sports. Popcorn is free at Impact. Kuiper Tree Care in West Michigan. You got a tree down? They can help you out. Kuiper, KuiperTreeCare.com, 616-828-8225. Call or text. They can get rid of your unwanted trees. They can grind down the stump. They can trim the trees. They can get rid of storm damage. They do tree risk assessment. Hey, this tree looks a little funny. They've got 3 certified arborists that can help you at KuiperTreeCare.com. Where we live, this is Edmund Fitzgerald country. It was 50 years ago Monday that the boat went down. Gordon Lightfoot wrote a song about it, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Now, on the local TV station, Wood 8, every day they're doing like another story about the Edmund Fitzgerald. And the latest article is 8 inaccuracies in the song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And I think some of these are nitpicking. Like what was in the damn Edmund Fitzgerald. In fact, most of these are nitpicking. Gordon Lightfoot wrote and sang, with a load of iron ore 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. The Fitz was not hauling iron ore. It was hauling taconite pellets, not pure iron. Well, okay. But you can't say with a load of taconite pellets 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. So shut up. Iron ore rhymes with tons more. With a load of taconite 26,000 tons more, that doesn't work. Another so-called inaccuracy. The ship was the pride of the American side coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. Apparently, the Fitzgerald was not coming back from some mill. I don't want to work. I just want to dance on the pound on the drum all day. The freighters do not go to mills. They get loaded at the docks. Yeah, I know, but who cares? There was a line in the song, as big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned. Yeah, I sure hope they don't take umbrage with the line with the crew and good captain well seasoned, and then they say, yeah, these guys were horrible. Lightfoot's lyrics get it right here, but the lore of the Edmund Fitzgerald often gets twisted. When it launched in 1958, it was the largest boat on the Great Lakes, but it didn't hold the record for long. Yeah, but it says it was bigger than most. It doesn't say it was the biggest of all time. Quote, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. 100% not true. The boat was headed for Zug Island, which is downriver outside of Detroit, which is all a bunch of industry there. But I guess it just doesn't sound good. Concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Zug Island. Quote, at 7 p.m., a main hatchway caved in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know ya. And whoever wrote this said, yeah, we have no idea what he said. The captain wired in, we had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. Didn't happen. Didn't work that way. He didn't say, we're in peril, Mayday. Wasn't anything. Who cares? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they put 15 more miles behind her. The Fitzgerald was 17 miles northeast of the bay. So they're quibbling over the mileage. In a musty old hall in Detroit, they prayed in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. Lightfoot tweaked the name a bit. It's actually known as the Mariners Church of Detroit. Who cares? And then he changed the line in the song because one of the church parishioners said it's not musty. Ever since then, he would say, a rustic old hall in Detroit. Following Lightfoot's death in 2023 during the annual bell ceremony to remember the 29 lost on the Fitzgerald, the bell was rung a 30th time to remember Lightfoot. I remember on the 30th anniversary of the Fitzgerald, I was watching an online stream of the ceremony. And it was, I don't know if it was in the cathedral, if it was someplace up north, but they were doing that bell tolling thing. And I don't even know why I wanted to watch it in the first place, but I was sitting there watching it. And then the next thing I knew, I was crying. I was like, oh, it was terribly sad. Terribly, terribly sad. Bob says, next, you'll tell me Jack and Diane weren't a real couple. Piano Fingerbanger says, plot twist, it turns out the boat just had iron workers with families, but Trump claims they were hardcore criminals. They play the video of that at the Shipwreck Museum at Whitefish Point. Our pal Chris loves the history. This I know. Nick says, Wood TV's coverage of the Edmund Fitzgerald stinks. Way better documentaries on YouTube. There was, and Nick says, bell tolls and fun salutes always cause, or gun salutes. Bell tolls and gun salutes always cause tears. Yeah, it's pretty rough, no doubt about it. There's a video that exists, if you go online, of the Fitzgerald when they put a camera through it. And that Captain McSorley, his remains, at least 20 years ago, from the video I saw, you could see his hand. The remains of his hand in the icy waters of Lake Superior. Pretty bizarre. Megan says, I was just watching a documentary on YouTube this morning about the Fitz as I heard someone refer to it. R.I.P. 29 people on board the boat. Not so great. Well, that wasn't great. But in a weird way, I don't really have a transition. I don't know why I said that. Antonio Brown is in the news. This is a fucking psycho who was a great football player. And then everybody says he got one too many hits to the head. And he is walking CTE. He has just been extradited from Dubai to the United States to face trial on an attempted murder charge. I forgot all about this. Related to a shooting earlier in May. So they sent our guys over there, got him, arrested him, brought him back to the U.S., took him to New Jersey. Now they're going to take him to Miami. Apparently there was a moment that took place, and there's video of this. Brown got into a fight with a bunch of people following some MMA fights or a boxing match. One video showed Antonio Brown appearing to fight in a parking lot as the crowd moved toward an alley. Then a gunshot appeared to ring out, and everybody hit the deck. Brown admitted that he had slammed one person's security guard. He said he told one of the officers that he hadn't done anything. The alleged, but apparently, Brown grabbed a security guard's gun and aimed it at some dude and started shooting. And he missed him, but he ended up, well, actually, the guy, it grazed his neck. The alleged victim of the shooting was Zul Karnain Kwame Nuntambu, who waved a Palestinian flag during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance in February. That guy got shot so in February, He's waving the flag. And then a few short months later, he got shot by Antonio Brown. And now they're bringing this guy to justice. Holy shit. Brown says this guy is a fraud, liar, stalker, and criminal. He was arrested in 2022 for stealing 6 figures of jewelry from me. Then he showed up at my show at Rolling Loud in 2023 trying to assault me, Brown wrote on X. Then in May, he snuck into a gate at the event and came right up to me trying to steal from me and threaten my life. Media hasn't told this story yet. Yeah, nobody's going to believe a word Antonio Brown says. He took a run at Tom Brady, for God's sake. This guy is an unbalanced psycho. Donut Dan says that he and Tyreek Hill should do a podcast together. Brad Bullbrain Chris says, gee, why was he hanging out in Dubai? Should have checked the extradition agreements with the U.S. Precisely. You got to go to like Cuba. You know? All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple more sponsors I want to shout out here before I wrap things up. King's Room Barbershop, it's where I get my haircut. Go to kingsroom.net for locations near you. Haircuts are going to cost you $21. They are outstanding. 3 locations to serve you: Caledonia, Northland Drive, 821 36th Street. Check them out online at kingsroom.net. I love my friends over at My Policy Shop Insurance. If you want to get help on the marketplace, reach out to Frank Fuss, ASAP. You've got till December 15th to get all squared away with your setup for health care, for open enrollment. Go to appointmentwithfrank.com. That's appointmentwithfrank.com. Holy cow. Yesterday's asshole of the day was Greg Henson. Today's asshole of the day, well, it's got to be Antonio Brown. No, I take it back. This is going to take a lot to write. Montcalm County Treasurer's hubby. For the simple fact that he has a video called Several Reasons Why I Don't Like Jews. What an asshole. Congratulations, you've won the asshole of the day. I will join you on Patreon a little later on. Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen, and I will talk to you then. Till then, be careful. Enjoy the rest of the day if I don't see you. And join me on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thanks, folks. Bye-bye.